Hey everyone, welcome to part 6 of the SHSAT math review for 2022. So we are on question 91 and let's get started. So there are 6 different cookies on a plate. Aiden will choose 2 of these cookies to pack in his lunch. How many different pairs of 2 cookies can he choose from the 6? Okay, so basically we have 6 different cookies. Now Aiden has to choose 2 of the cookies. So for his first choice, he obviously has 6 choices. So I'll say first, he has 6 choices. And then secondly, now he already chose one of them, right? So he has to choose another one, right? And now he has 5 choices. So you might be tempted to say, okay, he can choose. There are like 6 times 5 pairs that he can choose from. But the problem with that is that, let's say that there's a cookie M and a cookie C. So this is one choice pair, and this is another choice pair. And these are counted as being different according to just naively choosing one and then choosing another. But the problem is it doesn't really matter what order the cookies are in. These are the same 2 cookies. And so you're basically double counting if you're just doing it by counting the number of choices for the first and the second. So you have to divide by 2 to eliminate these double counts. So this is equivalent to getting rid of this one, and we're just saying, okay, we're choosing for one of the choices, we're choosing M, for the other we're choosing C, and it doesn't really matter which order. So you have to divide by 2 to avoid that double counting, and you're going to get 15 therefore. Okay. So 92, for a presentation, Delon can create 5 slides in 20 minutes, working at a constant rate. Kyra can create 3 slides in 10 minutes, working at her own constant rate. What is the total number of slides the 2 of them can create in 1 hour? Okay, so for this question, if Delon can create 5 slides in 20 minutes, so this is sort of proportions, right? So 5 slides in 20 minutes, and we want to know in 1 hour, or right, the units have to be the same, right, for proportions. So this is just 60 minutes. How many slides can he create in 60 minutes? And so, you could cross multiply and solve, but basically you just need to multiply both sides by 3 here, and so you would get 15 slides in 60 minutes. So actually the proportion just sort of confusing. I mean, technically you could cross multiply and solve, but more simply what we're doing is okay, he can create 5 slides in 20 minutes. So in 60 minutes, which is 3 times the time, he should be able to create 5 times 3 slides, which is 15 slides, right? So we're just multiplying it by a constant factor. And then if Kyra can create 3 slides in 10 minutes, then in 60 minutes, so 10 minutes, she creates 3 slides. So then we're going to multiply by 6. And therefore in 60 minutes, she should be able to create 18 slides. Okay, so basically we know now that Delon can create 15 slides in an hour, and Kyra can create 18 slides in an hour, and therefore working together, the 2 of them should be able to create 15 plus 18 slides, which is 33 slides in an hour. So that would be the answer to 92. Okay, so now 93. So on the number line above, ln is equal to 1/8. So basically the distance between these points is 1/8. Point M, not shown, is located between point L and point N. Okay, so point M. Which value below is a possible value for M? Okay, so I first sort of want to find what N is, because then we can figure out what is between L and N. So I want to find out what value N actually is. So N is going to be 4 and 5/16 plus 1/8. Okay, and now let's express this. So this is 4 plus 5/16, and then I'm going to express 1/8 in terms of 16, so that's 2/16. So this would be 4 and 7/16. So that would be 4 and 7/16. Okay, so now let's look at the answers. So these are like fractions, and these are decimals. So let's actually convert these fractions to decimal form. So we have to divide 5 by 16. Okay, so this is about 0.31. So L is like 4.31. N is, let's see. So we're doing 16/7. So let's see, I think that would be 4. That would be 3. Okay, so this is about 0.43, so 4.43, right? Because 4 and 7/16. So of the answer choices, we want to know. So we know that M is between L and N. So 4.26 is less than L, so that wouldn't work. 4.35 is greater than N, right? So that wouldn't work. 4.58 is also greater. So 4.31, that is between, I guess, oh wait, no, I'm sorry. I messed this up. Because if we keep doing, okay, so this is 20, right? So then we'll keep going. This is 40, so this is like 2. So it's 3.1 something. So 4.31 is actually just a tiny bit less than L, right? It's a tiny bit less. And therefore it's not, that value is not between L and M. So this doesn't work either. 4.58, that's too big, that's greater than N. But 4.35, right? 4.35, that's between 4.31 and 4.43, and so that's actually our answer. Sorry, I made a little mistake there at first. Okay, so now 94. So Johan leased a car for 3 years. He paid a one-time fee of 1,000 and an additional 300 per month. 300 per month for the full 3 years. Okay, so he had an initial charge of 1,000, and then he paid 300 per month. So 300 per month, and he paid that for the full 3 years, so that would be 36 months. And we want to know at the end of 3 years, what is the total amount paid. So these months unit cancels out, and so this is going to be 1,000 plus, and then let's do 36 times 3. So that's 18,108, and then we have to, so it's 108 would be 36 times 3, and then we have to add these zeros. So we're adding 10,800 to 1,000, so that would be 11,800, which is H. Okay. So that's the total amount paid. Alright, so now 95. So Ryan must read 150 pages for school this weekend. It took him 30 minutes to read the first 20 pages. At this rate, how much additional time will it take him to finish the reading? Okay, so basically, so let's see. So 30 minutes for 20 pages is equal to, and we want to know the additional time it will take him to finish the reading, right? So if he's read 20 pages, that means he has 130 additional pages to read. And while it took him 30 minutes to finish the first 20 pages, we want to know how much additional time it will take him to finish the remaining pages. So that's our proportion. Now we're going to solve for the question mark. So the question mark is 30 times 130 over 20. We can cancel out one of those zeros, and then 2 divides 130 into 65. So 3 times 65 is 195. And remember that this is question mark minutes, so 195 minutes, which is going to be 3 hours and 15 minutes. And we want this as a fraction, so it would be 3, and remember that there are 60 minutes in an hour, so it would be 15 minutes over 60 minutes, which is 1/4 of an hour. So 3 1/4. So 3 hours and 15 minutes is 3 1/4 hours. Okay, so that would be B. Okay, so now 96. Suppose M is equal to W over X. N is equal to Y over Z. And W, X, Y, and Z do not equal 0. What is M over N in terms of these variables? Okay, so I'm going to do M over N. And now I'm going to substitute. So for M, I can substitute W over X, right, according to this first equality. And for N, I substitute Y over Z, right, just plugging that in. Okay, and now let me simplify this, right? So we have W over X, and now I'm going to flip this Y over Z. It's going to become Z over Y. So this is WZ over XY. And that would be G. Right? Okay. So we're going to do 97. Okay, in the set of consecutive integers from 12 to 30 inclusive, there are 4 integers that are multiples of both 2 and 3. Okay, how many integers in this set are multiples of neither 2 nor 3? Okay. So I guess the approach to this one would be okay, so, well, one approach would be like a brute force approach, which you would like go through each number in this range and like check whether it is a multiple of 2 or 3, I mean, that would be pretty inefficient. So let's think of like a better approach. Well, okay, so if it's not a multiple of 2, it must be odd, right? And if it's not a multiple of 3, so let's actually look at the multiples of, well, actually, okay, actually, here's how I'm going to do this. So we have the integers 12 to 30 inclusive, right? So how many integers are those? Well, that would be, you might be tempted to say 18, right? But that wouldn't be correct, because if you're going from like 1, if you're ranging from 1 to 5, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's actually, it's going to be 5 integers, not 5 minus 1 integers. So you have to do, if you're going from 1 to 5, it's 5 minus 1 plus 1. You always have to add that plus 1. So if you want to know how many integers there are from 12 to 30 inclusive, it's 30 minus 12 plus 1, which is 19. So we're starting with 19 integers, right? And now we want to know how many are multiples of neither 2 nor 3. So let's first look at how many are multiples of 2. Okay, so it would be, well, 12 would be, right? 14 would be, 16 would be, all the way up to 28 and 30. So I guess we could just count those. So that would be, right, so 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so this would be 10, right? Now we want to look at how many are multiples of 3. So 12 would be, 15 would be, 18 would be, 21 would be, 24 would be, 27 would be, 30 would be. Okay, so we start at 12. Now 12 we already counted as a multiple of 2, so we don't want to count it again, right? We're looking for like how many are multiples of 2 or 3. So if we've counted 12, we don't want to count it again. So we have 1 here. But 18 wouldn't work either, right? Because we count it here. So that, and then 24 doesn't work because we've already counted it right there. 27 works, 30 does not work. We already counted it. So we have 3 additional values. Okay. So therefore we have 10 plus 3 is 13, which are either multiple of 2 or 3. And remember that we had 19 values total. So this means that 19 minus 13, or 6 values, are neither multiples, right? Neither multiples of 2 or 3. Now, if this process was sort of confusing to you, you can always just go through each, right? You can always go through each value and see, okay, this is a multiple of 2 and 3, right? Therefore, this doesn't work. This is not a multiple of 2 or 3, so this is 1. This is a multiple of 2, so that doesn't work. And just keep going and count how many that you circled, right? That's always possible. I was just trying to do it a little bit faster. Yeah. And there probably is like a a faster way to do this even than what I did, and a less confusing way, but off the top of my head, I don't actually know it. So, you know, that well, actually, let's think. No, I actually don't know a better way. Oh, actually, well, it would involve like some set theory, so yeah, it doesn't really matter. Well, actually, should I go over it? No, I think I won't. Um, all right, we'll end this video here.